All right, here we are again, once more. And I made a mistake. I was supposed to upload a video about me doing the Abyss, even though I already streamed it, right? The VOD is still up or whatever, but I kind of deleted the footage by accident, so I can't get it back. So, as I said yesterday, we are going to be working, or depending on when you're watching this, it might not be yesterday, but I mentioned that I would be working on Flints's supports, getting them to level 90, and just fully maxing them to get as much damage out of them as possible. Now, Sucrose on TTDS is okay, but I feel like uh, if I'm going to be switching on and off that often, it won't really proc as often as I would like it to. So maybe I'll run her on sacrificial frags or something. So that's also something I'm thinking about. You also get some elemental mastery, which is not too bad. But we'll try both. Okay, we'll try both. They don't seem too bad. Like TTDS is always gonna be higher on DPS just because of the passive is still very insane. So for now, I'm going to keep it, and this is the only weapon that I'm not leveling up past like I don't know level 1 because it's really not necessary at all. It doesn't help her in any way. I guess some defense, survivability, just to keep her on field a bit longer even though she's not really on field, but I mean, like, keep her alive a bit longer. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Anyways, let's start crowning these supports. That is the whole point of this to get the most valuable skill or burst to level 10, right? Because I'm getting tired of scrolling through my characters and seeing that they're not really finished. We don't have enough of these. So it seems like we're going to have to fight the Wolf of the North, unfortunately. And also, we don't have any more Whopper followers, but we do have enough freedoms to get it to level 10, which is very necessary. We need 700,000 more. One thing that I don't understand is how 4 stars can take us much more to upgrade as 5 stars. Okay, that's a little too much, right? Because the crown Flins, or let me find somebody that's close to being crowned. You still need 700,000, right? For 5 stars and 4 stars. You'd think they make it a bit cheaper because well, it's 4 star characters. It's the same. Okay, please, Hoyo, right? Reduce the amount of more that I use on 4 star characters because this is ridiculous. Even though Sucrose technically isn't a 4 star, but that's not really something we need to talk about. Okay, I know something that I could have done better on the last video is definitely like, oh, not start the rotation with Sucrose. What the hell was that? Was like trying out the dummy to really test out the uptime of my DPS. Because testing it on Knuckle Duckle just to see like the biggest number is still good. It's not terrible, but I think it would have been way better and more consistent if I just went into the test dummy and had done it that way. We'll try it once I crown everybody. Like, we'll see how much damage you can squeeze out of these characters. But for now, unfortunately, we can only crown 2 of them. And I don't think I even finished crowning my Colombino, which is very bad. The whole building plan that I'm following is pretty much crowning whatever character I summon for. Like, as soon as I summon for them, that's as fast as I'm crowning them. Because usually I summon for them, level them up to 90, and then forget about them, which is not good. I'm losing out on damage and just wasting pulls, if I'm being honest. All right, so I managed to get somewhat of like enough materials for sucrose. We still do need another one of these, which I probably don't have other parts, if I'm being 100% honest. And I also don't think I have crystals to even convert other parts, but I have to double check because I mean, my resin is capped, so I need to hurry up and see if I need to fight the wolf again. Yeah, I don't have any of its parts, so we have to pay the wolf a visit. A very, very short visit.
6308式ユニット
Oh my gosh, we got 3 and a crystal. That is insane. That is really good drops. Holy. All right, now we have enough to upgrade our sucrose to get her to level 10. Sucrose. Sucrose. Oh, I'm blind. Wow. All right, so we need some of these, which I don't know how many. I think we have 7. Do we have 7? I forgot already. This is bad. The issue with Whopper flowers is that they are so limited with the ways you get them is kind of annoying. Like the enemies aren't really spawning in the newer regions, so it makes it harder to really come across these, which is again very irritating. And I wish there was a better way to farm for them, but there's really not. What else are we missing? I think the Mora now, right? So for the Mora, the easy fix is running some ley lines, honestly. I don't have any other use for my resin as of now, so we are going to be farming for a bit of Mora. I usually farm what's it called? Not crime because of the materials, you know, I have newer characters and whatnot. Where's my Columbina? I need to see what she needs to get crowned as well so that I may move on to her. Oh, she's already crowned. Well, doesn't seem like I need to crown you then. Maybe crown. Who else is on the Flins team? Vishal is the other one coming to mind, but don't really think she cares about being crowned. And also, it seems like I don't have enough materials to crown her to begin with. I mean, I do have enough when it comes to these parts, but doesn't seem like I have enough when it comes to this one, right? So there's that issue. What are their priorities? Yeah, so Oz is obviously first priority, and then the ultimate is second priority. I don't think the ultimate really needs to be leveled up, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, because the only instance of damage that you get from the ultimate is that big lightning bolt. I still would like to go for his elemental skill. It would be really nice to have it because, you know, it just is used. Even if it doesn't deal that much damage, it's still used. It's not terrible. But yeah, we're gonna have at least one crown on everyone when it comes to Flints's team. So let's let's get to farming this Mora. This whole time we had no whoppers spawning in, which is kind of unfortunate. Very unfortunate. We didn't get anything when it comes to whoppers, but we have enough Mora for one crown at least. Would have loved to get a bit more, but I guess Fisher could wait. Or what I could do, since my Sucrose is already level 9, I could just get my Fisher a bit closer to the crowning, which wouldn't be too bad, and then just crown them both at some point. But I think I should have enough resin, unless I already spent all of my fragile resin, which, okay, I did. That's not good. Um, I still have 50, so could go for like a double rewards. That wouldn't really be worth it. I've decided that I might have to wait another day to get the crown for official. Usually I don't really do videos where they last longer than a day, but I really want to get 2 characters in one video, right? Because it would be a bit more efficient than just releasing 2 videos with 2 separate characters, in my opinion. It's 4 stars, okay? I shouldn't really be releasing their own thing as if especially in this case because they're not like DPS characters, they're just supports. Okay, so here we go. Next day, I did log in a bit later, like 3 hours later than I was supposed to, but here we are. We are going to hopefully crown both my official and my sucrose. I'm not very sure yet. I have to see how much more I require for the official skill or whatever it is that I'm trying to crown on her. I think it's just a skill because the ultimate really doesn't do much for her aside from the lightning bolt that strucks once you do ult, but that's not really where most of the damage is coming from. It's coming from Oz, right? So I'm not really focused on the ultimate. But for Sucrose, we do have already 700,000. right? And we have all of the materials set up. All right, we have more than 700,000 mora, which is what's necessary to, crown her for official. Unfortunately, we have a bit of leveling up to do. So, yeah, I mean, there's not really much. It's just like two more levels, right? And it's inflated due to the constellations, of course. So I can craft enough of these books, enough of the little arrowheads, and I have enough of the wolf butt plugs or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know. I will say this is going to be way faster than I expected. I thought it was going to take more time. So there's that. And I don't think in the future I'll be summoning for Inefa if this team is as good as it is, without her. Because I'm already dealing enough damage to, again, I think I mentioned this yesterday, get rid of any end game that I'm really putting this team on. Except for Stygian Onslaught, probably like Dire or Fearless is going to be a bit more, required to have an Inefa just for the extra damage and the extra sustain. I don't have these sword effects upgraded. Okay. Interesting. For official, what I'm looking for is honestly a damage build with Tenacity of the Millilith because, she can buff the team, and also she'll be able to deal some damage. Even though this set doesn't really boost her damage, she'll still deal some damage. I want Oz to still do something. Honestly, I don't want him to just be completely useless. We are trying to get her C6, so I hope that next patch, if Linnea does run with official, I might be forced to summon for at least one copy of official. Same with Sucrose. I doubt they're going to put them back to back though, but that's just in case it does happen. Anyways, that's enough yappings. My resin is capped, and we are going to use that resin for farming more Mora, of course. And it helps us get our dailies completed way faster. So there is that. I really like this feature where you just have to select a character and it shows you what you need for them. Like, I'm very happy that they added that. Let's see. I want you to refund. Don't duplicate. I prefer the refund just because it's a bit more reliable, right? So I know people are like, oh, just use the duplicate, Nah, I'll do my own thing. If I do end up using the duplicate, it'll probably be just for like the purples. But for the blues, I'll probably just use the double, which I didn't use because the characters keep switching around and I just noticed that. God damn it. But that's okay. Whatever. That's... Oh, we're not done. We need the arrowheads. Where are the arrowheads? Are you the duplicate? Nope. The refunder. That's what I'm trying to find. The person who refunds. Dory being somebody who refunds is kind of ironic because she's very greedy. So I doubt she would refund anything to anyone. So, Oyoverse, what are we doing? We're not saying lower accurate with that character over there. So at 24, we need 4 more, which they are available, but I think I can actually, I should be able to afford it. Let's see. Yeah, so we need, yeah, just one more ley line. So, okay, that's cool. That's cool. See, I was hoping that I just needed like at least 1 or 2 ley lines and then I could use 1 condensed resin for the domain for the talent book. So we need 4 of these. We're going to go farm them right now. I hope we can get it in 1 soup because I'm not trying to spend more than 1 condensed resin on here. Even though, again, I only need like 100k more for her crown, I still wouldn't want to spend that much condensed resin in this domain. So I hope I get lucky. We just need 4. All right, let's see how lucky we get here. Please. Nice. That's actually perfect. Oh, no, we can only... Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Holy shit. That's actually perfect. Wow. We got exactly what we needed. We do not need any more. This is going to be interesting. Oh, wait, this is the wrong team. Hold on. I was, like, looking for facial. I know she was, like, a bit further to the right. It wasn't that far away, but just, like, having a team in the field. Now, we're going to go for... these ley lines over at Not Cry. Why Not Cry? I have no clue. Actually, I already have like every Not Cry character fully crowned. Well, not fully crowned, but you know, at least one crown on their important ability. So I'm going to Mondstadt just to get like more materials for other Mondstadt characters that I haven't crowned yet. So yeah, we're gonna do that because I know Mika and Jean and Eula, they're getting some buffs from the Hexerite apparently. So maybe Mika will be viable, right? Especially with Sanjone being super conduct or something like a super conduct enabler, which is kind of insane. But we're gonna see how that turns out, and you know, having some Mondstadt materials for those characters wouldn't be too bad. Why do they have to be Electro?
流れて三月よ輝け姿を見安全距離確認目を閉じてと夢なき眠りへようこそ
It's such an awkward camera angle. All right. We're going to keep going. Because another thing I didn't take into account is that, yes, I need 700,000 only for Sucrus's crown, but Fischl needed 2 levels, which means I lost a lot of Mora. So I'll have to find out a way to make all of that Mora back.
吸引テスト開始そうだ
Ooh, that was close.
ややさ暗闇は怖いですが
Ooh, nice, a water flower.
今宵月をささ安全距離確認目を閉じてこうだ死の底へ
Nice. That is all we had, unfortunately. I want to make sure this doesn't go into a day 3, but I think it might have to, if I'm being 100% honest. Just because, again, I don't have enough Mora, so it's not very good. I could use some, you know, some resin. I can buy some resin and whatnot. Wait, doesn't Sucrose also need those? She does. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. I just noticed. I just noticed they both use the same materials. This is not good. This isn't good at all. I have to wait for the next reset before I can crown them. Because I already did the wolf. Oh shit. Alright, unfortunately I guess I didn't plan this correctly, and I'll see you guys during a weekly reset because I don't have enough for both. I only have 2. Which means I can crown one right now, but I want the satisfaction of crowning them both at the same time. So we're gonna have to wait. All right, so today shall be the last day that we need to record to get these characters crowned because this took like 4 days, and it was because I was very unprepared. This is why you always do your weekly bosses, no matter what materials you need, just do them all. Right? It doesn't matter who you have, who you don't have. Oh my gosh, will it work on this character? Oh well, I already crowned this. Just farm it. Right? You never know when you're gonna have to farm for a 4-star, right? Especially with like the new 4 stars and 5 stars getting their abilities reworked or buffed. So it's better to have all those materials now than later. All right, these are terrible, specifically because I only have 2 crystals, right? And I was hoping to save them for somebody else that require them, but unfortunately, doesn't seem like it'll be possible. Anyways, let's just get to crowning these characters and get over and done with. You know? Let's end this video. It's been way too long. It's been 4 days in total of me just farming for these characters. Which realistically, if you are at the same level that I am, you don't have that issue, right? Because you have a bunch of Mora and a bunch of like materials. I just been using them irresponsibly, unfortunately. So yeah, there's that issue, right? So it's not like you'll be broke at this point of the game. It's more of like it depends on how responsible you are with your materials. That's all it is. Me, I haven't been responsible at all, as you can see. So I'm literally just upgrading anything and everything that I have. So that's why I'm so short on resources. What is in my way? A flower? Also, one thing that I'm really not a fan of is them not, making every set that comes out a strongbox set. Like, they should immediately just do that, honestly. Just save me the farming time, you know? If I have a bunch of artifacts in my inventory that I want to strongbox, but I can't because the set that I wanted to strongbox it on is not available yet until like a year after or something like that, is kind of ridiculous. Why do we have to wait that long? There's no, that's so unnecessary, you know? I know it's like 2 patches after or something like that, but it's still a very long time to wait for a set that you can strongbox, right? When they could do it like a week after the update dropped or a month after the update dropped instead of doing it, you know, a patch or 2 patches after, which is kind of insane. Again, like that's not good. Waiting way too long for that, right? I could be using my resin or something else, and I could just be, spending all of my fodder artifacts on my strongbox. All right, it's time for the crowning, right? Finally, we'll get Flins' team fully crowned, right? And that's something I've been doing with every character that I've been summoning for. I did it with Skirk. Well, I haven't really done Skirk. I might have to go back and do it to Skirk. Like, just crowning every character that's on that team. But it'll take a bunch of more since I have to do Scoffier, Furina, Skirk, and Mona. That's 4 characters, okay? That's, oh, I hit, okay, what the fuck? So that's a very huge amount of resources that I have to spend, especially Mora, right? But anyways, this is about Flint's, not Skirk. So for Columbina, I probably will end up doing her elemental burst, even if it doesn't really do much. But I just like, the lunar reaction damage and all that. So what happens if we upgrade it? Yeah, so that'll go up, right? It'll deal more damage and whatnot. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. So I think I can crown her as well. Just not right now, of course, because well, I don't have enough pieces for the Torre, and I already spent all of my crystals on facial and sucrose just now. So she's gonna have to wait. Again, I'm not sure if this is good because the skill is what you're using the most, right? Especially in a Flint's team. So maybe I did it backwards, but I already had this like leveled up. But maybe I'm doing this backwards. I should have probably upgraded the elemental skill because I've seen people barely use her elemental burst at all. Or maybe I'm going crazy. I just don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. This is probably misleading. But I see people using her elemental skill more than the burst. I don't know if I don't know. Whatever. Let's just do it. We'll find out about our mistakes later. Yeah. All right, for official, fully max out Oz. There we go. Official is crowned, and Sucrose is crowned as well. That's pretty good. And we have 600,000 more left, which is not too bad. We have something left. And that's about it when it comes to the crowning of these characters. I'm actually pretty happy, but it took me this long to crown 2 of the best 4 stars in the game.